I'm sorry this looks like being self-indulgent being up here again, but it is due to all these people pulling out, so blame them, if anyone. And I just want to... Oh, I want to talk to you about... you know when you got here, were there loads of police around? Because I remember being... when I moved in, there was so many police around. And you know when you go to London and they say, do not leave your bags unattended at any point, or we will blow them up. Just in case they're bombs, so the classic Britishness, we'll blow up your shit for you, right? But I came down and there were all these police around and I said, what are you doing? It's like, oh, we're making sure the bags are not left unattended. I was like, oh, that's a good idea in case they're terrorists and stuff. And he said, no, just in case they're trying to reserve parking spaces for their parents. That is the most Cambridge thing I've ever heard in my life. It is the biggest anticlimax. And you know when you're hanging around in police, my biggest problem with the police is that the problem of loitering. My problem is that it's not a fucking crime. And just hanging around doing nothing, by definition, can't be a crime. But they scare you, and they scare you into paying a fine or something like that. Or when you're riding a bike, and I don't know if they've caught you yet. They'll catch you in winter. Right? Watch out for this, freshers. You ride a bike. And you'll know about it. The second he's in here knows about it. They stop you if you have to have a light. They fine you something like £30, and they give you a light. What you've done is buy a light. Extortionate price. And all I think is, what if the big issue sellers got hold of this? They'd be rolling in it. They'd be fucking throwing them out from a helicopter. If they came dressed up in a policeman's outfit and said, sorry guys, you're hanging around in groups of 6 or 7 like Nazi Germany. Can you please give us £10 for a big issue? Oh, I'm sorry, have my phone, have my mother, have my mother. And they'd be rolling in it. Now, I'm going to talk one more time about the half Chinese thing, because it's particularly relevant to our next and final performer. And it goes back to Danish saying about job applications and what you'd be best suited at. And I work in a bar, so I was being really nice to this one American couple, because they tip well. And I said, hello, is everything okay for you? And they went, yeah. And the woman looked at me and went, you know what job you'd be good at? A Chinese waiter. This is genuinely true. And then her husband then looked and went, huh, actually, he just bought our food. He is a Chinese waiter. And he went, no, I'm just half. What, half a waiter? How can you be half a waiter? You get out the kitchen, it's too hard for you, you fall over. And on that note, please welcome half Chinese waiter, Mr. Phil Wang.
I recently found out my girlfriend is really bad at fellatio. It was a terrible blow. I mean, you might have realised I had quite an Asian lineup. We're actually a retired Chinese acrobats like making comedy. Before I start, I'd just like to set a few things straight. I'm not a paedophile. I'm just nostalgic. Still, that didn't stop me from losing my son a job as a children's rights activist. The ad said, do it for the kids. I thought that was a perk. It wasn't. Where the freshers at? Freshers, yeah? Yeah. Cambridge is a nice place. I do enjoy it. It's good. Sorry. Before that, I'd just like to mention my late father, who should have been here half an hour ago. Negligent. Yeah. So freshers, Cambridge is a nice place. It is nice, but it can be really confrontational and aggressive sometimes. I mean, every college seems to have a rowing club. Do you like my t-shirt? I think what this says is that I'm aware of my culture's heritage of mass murder and dictatorship, but also hilariously comfortable with it. You have a good summer? Yeah. I had a good summer. Actually, I went to the States, I went to America. I actually got to do some stand-up comedy there. It's good. But I had to modify my set to sort of fit American audiences. Would you like to see some of my American stuff? Yeah. That went on for 2 hours. I've been booked for a 10 tour, so.